right, good morning, and thank you for tuning in to 980 WDDO. This is your God brother, your God son, your God nephew, Vertiz Z. Rozier. I'm here live in the studio with a special interview and a special guest here with us on this morning. We're so glad to have him here, and we certainly want you to come in and call in and hear what Apostle Melvin Goolsby has to say. Good morning, Apostle.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Wonderful, and you?
Man, all is well, and well is all. We're live here in the studio, and that's a tragedy that has hit your family. Let's talk about that. What has happened, and what are we doing and going to do?
Well, thank you, Apostle, and thank you for making this space and this time. You're a great activist leader in this community, and we thank you for everything that you're doing. There's a young lady by the name of Maya Brianna, who was murdered Saturday, August the 18th, by the brutal killing of young gang members. This young girl lost her life at the age of 18 years old. A graduate of Westside High School, had a great future, but yet on that day she got a phone call, went and picked up a guy that supposed to have been her friend who she was loyal to, but loyalty caused her death. She died, and now her mother and her grandmother is devastated. This is not a call for just justice for Maya, but for every young person that has lost their life in the Macon and Middle Georgia community. This community has become a war zone. We're having 2 to 3 deaths per day here. I talked to the Assistant Chief of Police Carswell. They will be there at 4127 Chambers Road tonight between 6 and 8 for a press conference. The investigator, the sergeant of investigator, the lieutenant of investigator will be there, and some community activists will be there. Other preachers will be there to support this. The community is coming out, so we want people to come out and support and show that we want justice for Maya. It is a sad occasion because she lost her life, amen, to a senseless killing that has been going on in this city, and yet our voices don't need to be heard. Our voices need to make a change. So what we are doing is we're coming together tonight, not just to have another political move, but to have a political change, that things can change with the gun rules and the gun laws. It's almost like a Russia-Ukraine. They're killing over there for land, religious purpose, and political reason. We're killing here. We have our own Ukraine and Russia going on right here in Macon, where we're killing each other, and something has to be done, and we have to do it real quickly.
And it seems like also, Apostle, that it is, as you said, a death every day. Something is happening in this city every day, and I like you, especially what you said, that it's time for a political change political change. When this tragedy for her mom, her family, it has affected so many people. Let's talk about that in a sense.
We just buried her grandmother 3 months ago. Now the granddaughter of the grandmother is deceased. So now she's left with tragedies all over the family. Great grandmother, which is my sister, is in a pause. She's having a nervous wreck. And so because of who I am, I said that it's no longer for me to be silent. The church has to come together. I was talking to Assistant Chief Carswell, and he was saying, Apostle Goolsby, we have to come together as a community. We can no longer just stay behind the sacred desk and preach the gospel. We have to show the gospel. Our voice now has to be the mainstream. You know, the scripture, Apostle, says that we as prophets go to kings and priests, and they ask us for advice and direction. Now it's time for the voices of all of the prophets of old and the prophets of today to come together. Those who have a pull with heaven to come together and make a difference in this community.
And in doing that, Apostle, which I am so glad you're on. We're glad to have you in the studio
so much, my friend.
Here live from WDDO. But I think it's so important too that this is the time where we put religious differences aside. That is nothing about Baptist, Pentecostal, AME. It's about saving, winning souls, and when a community of power that we have. We're smart people. We're very educated people, and we have a sense of pride. But when we give our authority to put it in the wrong hands, in any manner, it can be damaged. What are we to gain in pulling together and coming together to fight? what's going on in this city?
I'm
what
glad,
are we going to gain?
I'm glad you asked that. What we were gaining is, first of all, we will kill the spirit of Lucifer. It was the spirit of Lucifer, the spirit of pride that rose up against God. He wanted a position. And this is what's happening in the community. We don't want to come together to help one another because everybody wants to be in charge. And we got to let go of the spirit of Lucifer so that the spirit of pride can be killed. And once we come together, I heard a great writer say it, that we can't change the world till we change ourselves. Right. So change got to begin with us in our mindset. The Bible declares, so a man thinketh, so is he in his heart, his emotion, the way he feel. So my friend Apostle, we have to change our mindset and realize it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about making a change in the community. And you said something valid. It's not about a religious denomination, because Christ never done with that. He deals with the heart of men. And so when we can put aside whatever sector or whatever tradition or whatever denomination we are in and come together as a collective, we can change Macon and Middle Georgia to stop some of this senseless killing. Listen, there are in South Macon, there are people dying on a daily basis. They have no conscience now. These young kids do not believe in sparing people's life. You can have your child, your grandmother, your mama in the car. They don't care. They're going to shoot in there. Yeah. So we got to take action quickly and now. No longer can we be divided, but we got to come together. And I felt that this was the start for me to no longer travel like I've been traveling, to come off the road and to make a difference in the city that I grew up in.
Well, man, listen, it is so appreciated. I've been watching in the papers and reading every time a death comes up, talking to Leon, the coroner here. I noticed that the generation that is dying is between the ages of 14 and 19 in 2021, and that's a whole generation.
That's a whole
generation. So it is the spirit of Lucifer to kill, steal, and to destroy. And if we don't, that's something I'm teaching. I'll be at your church next month.
Yes,
and I'm talking. It's amazing you're doing this. I'm talking from the subject. Once you expose it, destroy it. Because we expose things, but we don't destroy it, and it still lives around. And comes in another form. How do we come together to destroy that murdering spirit that's around the city?
Well, one of the things we have to do, we have to get Governor Kemp to change the laws. That's going to be the most important thing. The laws have to change in the whole state of Georgia to where everybody does not have the right to carry a gun. The gun doesn't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill people. Right. And so the laws have to change. And here's the main thing, Apostle. We as clergymen have to come from behind the sacred desk and not just worry about, well, I got my congregate, I'm just going to preach, I'm going to do what I got to do. But a preacher has been sent by God to make a change in the community. Yes, once again, when the prophets of old came, they spoke to the kings and the priests. They came as a priest of God, a voice of God. Yeah. And so we are messengers, not behind the sacred desk, but in the streets. You know, when we was coming up, we would do not just marches, we would go out in the community and deal with the young people. Now, we know that these kids here are doing the wild, wild west. They're crazy, and you have to be very careful. But I believe that there are some of us who have a charge of our life by God that we still can make a difference. But we got to come together. We got to drop our differences, come together, and work as a team with the Bill County Sheriff Department. They can't do it all by themselves. Right. The commissioner can't do it. You can't do it all by yourself. Right. You're doing a wonderful job here. Your voice is being heard, but you need help and you need finances. Right. Finances is going to make a difference and going to make a change. We can preach, we can shout, we can speak in tongues, but it takes money to change a nation and to change a country. But Jesus even said it, you know, and he said, run unto Caesar what is Caesar, and run unto God what is God. And just like what you're doing, you need money to keep this going so the voices can be heard. So, man, listen, this is what we got to do. Put our resources together, keep you on the air, and, man, keep this push and let everybody know, hey, listen, we're here. We're fighting for Maya Brianna. She lost her life. We're fighting for every young man and every young woman who lost their life, and we're not going to sit back any longer and be quiet. We don't want our voices to be heard. We want our voices to make a change.
I certainly admire, even at the onset of starting this interview with you, getting your voice out, getting to being heard. You said this isn't about just Maya. You said that's my niece, but it's not about Maya only. That says a whole lot,
yes,
Apostle. And I do want to Thank you for
welcome.
just letting those words come out of your mouth, because it would say it says as, hey, let's just come on the same level. Let's come out. What address? Tell us the address again. There is a press conference going on today with Apostle Goolsby, Carswell, Carswell, and others will be there to help assist in this press conference. Tell us where
Lieutenant
this is going
Patterson.
on.
Yes, it will be held at 4127 Chambers Road, NBIF, Center Hope, here in the dynamic city of Macon, Georgia. Lieutenant Patterson, Sergeant Tolbert, if I'm not mistaken, along with Assistant Chief Carswell, if he can make it. I've talked to him, man. I want to give a shout out to him. He has been wonderful, a dear friend of mine. He has supported this, and man, he's doing a fabulous job. They will be there, the investigators, Jarvis Adside, hopefully Dr. Glover, and other preachers from the community will be there to really support this. And I want to thank those from the community, all of the clergymen, all of my fellow comrades, even Bishop Johnson, who have worked hard to get the TV people out there. I think 24 is supposed to be there, and 13. So we're really doing something to make sure that we make a change in this community and not just have another gathering and nothing be done. I'm not here to bring a gathering or to get exposure. I already have exposures from 60 years of living. So what I want now is to make a change with my voice. I'm at the end of my life, and even though God gonna add more to it, but from now until He calls me home, I want to make a change in this community.
This is hit right here live on WDDO 107.9 FM on your dial. This is Apostle Melvin Goolsby right here, born in Macon, Georgia. And listen, we need you to help make this change, help make this impact. As he said, I think it is so much time to come from behind the sacred desk and do what Jesus did, get in the highways and the byways. And once there is a generation that is looking for a hero. I do believe that.
Yes.
Everybody talk about the woman with the Samaritan woman and how she had 5 husbands, but that's not the key to that. The key is that she was thirsty.
She was thirsty.
Yes. And I think that is something that we must offer to drink, because Jesus said, the water that I give you, you'll never thirst again. So there is a thirst, I believe today, that Apostle Goolsby is asking us and requesting us out of love and out of concern. This has hit home, but as he said, this is even more than just hitting home. It has hit families. It has hit grandparents. It has hit sisters, brothers. When someone pass or someone is hurt, it's something I say all the time. Your decision affects a lot of people. Whatever happens today, whatever we do today on Chambers Road with Apostle Goolsby is going to help affect a lot of people. So it's more than just about you. It's about your children, your grandchildren, your family, your cousin. And I was telling Bishop Scott the other day, man, you folk road raging now, you better let them go on.
Yes. Yes.
Folk will stop and get out and shoot and everything else.
Yes.
So we're living in a whole different type of society. Apostle, what is the vision after today?
Well, the vision after today is to keep pressing. We're not going to stop here. We're going to go all the way up to the top. Listen, the killers are still out there. They have not been apprehended. They're still out there. And I heard the other day that they were shooting up another house. So we cannot stop until they are caught and pressed and press charges against them, and their justice is brought to the fullest against them. You said something so positive, that the woman at the well, she was thirsty, but she didn't drink from anybody. The problem with us that we drinking from anybody. We got to have the right people to give us the water, and when the right preacher can give this generation the right water that it's need, then we can make a change in this generation, and they will go tell like the woman did. Come and see a man who told me everything I needed to know. He gave her a prophetic word. We need to give them some wisdom. Yes. And so it's going to take us who has a voice to give them the living water that they need, that they may live again, because this generation is dying and they have no mentors, and the spirit of mentor has left the city, has left the world.
Right, man. Thank you, Apostle Goolsby. Listen, you heard it right here on 107.9, the historic 980 WDDO. We're our radio station. Bishop, can you come up if you can? This radio station is simply designed for the community.
Yes.
I know you remember the original WDDO, and what we want to do, man, we want to bring voices. Listen, the music is fine. We can play music all day long, but we want to know this station is the station you can call and say, "Hey, I need this is important." You know, you made one call. You said, "Rosie."
Yes. Well, you are the different. You're the change maker. You're the one that can change the atmosphere because God has opened up this platform especially for you. There's nobody who can do what you do because you was designed and ordained by God and commissioned to do this. So the community, not just me, but the community need to support you with our funds that we may keep you going and get you as big as, amen, you need to be. One last thing I want to say that dealing with Maya, the girl future was so great. I'm devastated by it, but her future was so great. But I want every parent who has lost a child to come out and support. I don't care if you're not, amen, a part of this, but your child was lost. They died. So you come out. Let your voice be heard. We just don't want to make a change for Maya, but we want to make a change for every young kid that have died and lost their life. So I'm inviting all mothers, all grandmothers, all fathers, come out. 4127 Chambers Road in the dynamic city of Macon, Georgia. NBIF, Center Hope, come out and let your voice be heard too.
I think that's amazing. Every person, you listen, if you're listening and the person that you know is not listening, call them and tell them, meet Apostle Goolsby. A press conference is going on, and when they get there, if it's all right for me saying this, make yourself known to Apostle Goolsby. Let him know. Is that all right?
We want to hear from them.
Yes,
the lieutenant want to hear. The sergeant want to hear. The community want to hear. We want to hear. They have to make a change. They got to speak out. You can no longer talk at home, sitting in the yard, eating chicken. We have to come to this and make our voices heard and make our voices known and then make a change. So it's going to take the whole community. I need everybody to show up. It doesn't matter who child it was. It doesn't matter if it was last year, this year. Right. You have a dead child and we're stuck. And one more thing I want to say, please get some insurance. We don't need no more GoFunding. It only takes $30 to get enough insurance to bury a family member. So I'm asking everyone, if you don't have any insurance, please seek about getting some insurance just to cover your family.
That's wisdom. That's wisdom talking right here at 1037, right here on the wall. Listen, we want to thank you, Apostle Goolsby, for coming on.
Thank you for having
107.9 WDDO, man. We want to continue to be a voice for the community.
Thank you, my friend.
And listen, as much as we're going to push this for the rest of the day, I'm going to talk about it for the rest of the day so that everybody will get out and be a part of this. If you're online with us, we're on 5 social medias. Please hit share. Share this with someone. Call someone today. Is there a number at the church or a number you all have that someone may have a question for you? Can you give us that number?
That number is 478-765-5368. Once again, 478-765-5368.
All right, you heard it right here. That's 478-765-5368.
That's it.
478-765. Write this number down. 478-765-5368. Apostle Goolsby is not new to this community. We all know that he's very impactful. And so let's do our part. Let's get there tonight at 6 o'clock to join in with Apostle Goolsby. I'm Virtue Z. Rozier, and you're tuned in to the #1 gospel station right here in Macon, Georgia, 1038 on the wall. And it is Thankful Thursday, August the 25th. And we want to say thank you for being the best part of 980 WDD. More incredible gospel music is coming your way. Thank you again, Apostle Goolsby.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you. We love you, man.
Love you.
And I just pray that this is the beginning of greatness, of voices being heard and change happening. Seriously, it is a serious game changer now. Just that voice. You got that voice. Thank you, all right, right here. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. More music right now.